back, but got a little touch of right-hand side unwanted. But he still finished perfectly on the green. It wasn't his intention, but he settled for that. You can see he didn't intend to go onto the bottom cushion. He was trying to screw it straight back.
Well, he's on this red to the right corner, but as I said a few moments ago, the pink off its spot, black tied up. Only really the blue and bought colours to play for at the moment.
5.
So he'll do well here to make a sizable contribution, and particularly now he's not the right side of the blue.
He's got to make sure he avoids the brown and yellow or the brown and green, whichever way he chooses to get back up to the reds. And he's done that. He could do with getting a good angle on the blue to maybe pot the blue and come up and disturb the reds and black just to help things. The reds are nicely placed, but it's very awkward indeed here. This is far from easy to get back to the blue. If he's just off straight, he might be able to screw it straight back. You can see he's digging right down into the cloth to create the backspin. You've got the perfect picture there. Let's see what he does with this. Yeah, beautiful cueing. In fact, he's hit it too well,
11.
but he'll take that. Played for the blue, but cued that beautifully there. Yeah, the long pause, hit the white right on the bottom. That creates the backspin. Too bad. Play that with backspin again.
13.
Just have a look at this white ball we've got with the pink and red dots on it. There's where you strike it there, or even a little bit lower than that to create the backspin. And just watch this spotted ball to see the reaction. It sort of stops, picks up pace, and then starts spinning. Quite amazing.
14.
Just looking at his body language there, I think he's a little bit straighter on this blue than he would have liked. If he'd have had an angle, there may be a possibility of trying to break open these reds near the black, but I don't think that's an option now. Peter Ebdon, you know, was quoted as saying, if it was, you know, when they play in the qualifiers and the cubicles, he reckons he can beat anyone in the world, Rory Mcleod. He just can't seem to produce that level on the match table.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Rory Mcleod 14.
Please replace your own
John Higgins
divots.
5.
Yeah, that's something you don't see very often, but when you're playing with so much backspin, it can happen. Have a look at this. Well, is it still the hurdling season, John, or are we?
Yeah, we're into the national hunt season. He'll be disappointed there because that was just poor cueing. He just dipped at the last minute. Is the tip okay? That will be his main concern now because he wasn't going to leave anything. But that's not the best safety shot from John Higgins.
I'll tell you what it has done. It may have freed the black up for the right corner. I know he can't get through to that red, but he could play a cannon off one red and knock the red in. I don't know if he's looked at that or the possibility of planting one red, but there definitely is a way of knocking that red in this over the pocket if he can judge it correctly. He may play the red onto it, but he could also play a cannon. But can he see enough of this red to pot it? Yep, no problem.
1.
So that little jump shot he accidentally played didn't prove costly. Amazing. But at least it left everything fairly safe with the cue ball in hand after that foul. One good shot here could give himself a good chance. If he pots the blue, he's going to head over towards the black and red, and you'd think he's bound to finish on a pot here. Key shot this opening frame.
Rory Mcleod 1.
Just decided on the old safety shot instead there, John.
Yeah, you can't beat a little bit of luck. That's twice he's made a mistake when playing for the blue. And it's not cost him anything, or doesn't appear to. This red closest to the cue ball, it may pot in the right corner, but is it too risky to take on? Well, he may be playing in the left corner and screwing back to the balk end. No, it didn't go. Well, the cue ball back to the balk end, but just not settled yet, John Higgins. But it doesn't help if you don't get your hand on the table and start potting a few balls. But he's covered the danger red with the brown. So he's asking a little bit of a question here from Rory Mcleod to get this safe. There may be a pot on, but it's very risky.
Well, he's sent the reds all over the table there, and this time he hasn't got away with it. The one to the left of the black will pot. So this is not a bad chance for the defending champion. He hit that far too thin, and that was the reason the balls flew all over the table. May have to play for one of the ball colours though. The pink and blue are not in a good position.
One.
There's one good positional shot, and he can get himself onto the black if he just takes the brown, screws up past the blue spot, leaves that red for the left corner. He's in business here. Right over the blue spot, played that to perfection.
5.
Just show you the overhead shot there. Played with screw and a little touch of right hand side. Beautifully played.
6.
Now press it. So that puts
13.
John 9 points in the lead. It's still not a formality to win the frame at this visit. And when
14.
the reds are in awkward positions like this, it's imperative you get a good angle on the colour to play for that red, and he's nicely on the black.
Of course, John, it's important even more so this year to get off to a good start
21.
because it's only the best of 11 up until the quarter final. It's been a little controversial with some of the players. They're so used to playing the longer frames in the UK. So, you know, you want to get out of the blocks pretty quickly.
Twenty-two.
Well, if he's too straight on this red, that's a little bit careless.
26.
But he's getting down pretty quickly, so he must feel he can get this cue ball back onto a baulk colour.
27.
Just about.
Tricky
31.
one now, especially with the extension and the rest with the extension. Need to cue these well, especially up the cushion.
Yes, and that's exactly what he did, Dennis. Played it really well there. So this black, but he still needs 2 more of these remaining 3 reds, so he's not over the line just yet.
I think he's got a slight angle just to stun this in behind the red, somewhere around the line there. That's pretty good. Straighter would have been better. He
39.
may have to go up for the baulk colours. But if he gets a good angle, he can bring one of the difficult
40.
reds into play. And he doesn't need many more pots to secure this opening frame.
Yeah, the yellow, and he felt as though he could drop behind this red, and straighter he would have preferred because he only needs the
42.
red. So there'll be no real attempt for position, just make certain you pot this red, and Rory Mcleod will need snookers. And in it goes, so
43.
looks as though the world champion is going to take this first frame, and Rory Mcleod can have no complaints because he's had a couple of good chances. And with that blue going in, I'm certain no way back.
48.
Well, that's a beautiful long pot there. Okay, no pressure on it, but it shows that he is cueing well. And as you said, John, Rory's had a few chances, and that miscue when he jumped over
53.
the blue didn't help.
55.
But it is best of 11, so he's just got to make certain he doesn't make any more
58.
simple mistakes. At the start that let John Higgins in for this, he had a very difficult safety, decided to go for the difficult pot instead, and he's been sat down ever since.
62.
But that's what you're going to find with the top players. You can't leave them in, particularly when the black is available.
67.
And this has been an excellent contribution because it didn't look as though he could possibly make a frame-winning break. And if that pink goes in, he's going to clear up. Is it in? It's there.
73.
Well, what a marvellous break from John Higgins. The balls weren't ideally situated. Rory Mcleod had his chances, but the world champion wins the first frame with a superb break of 80.
Of course, back at the Barbican Centre again, John. It's great to be back in York at this time of the year, coming up to Christmas.